Next month is Pride Month in South Africa, a time to honor diversity and the LGBTQ+ community's struggle for acceptance and respect, and recommit government's promise to create a society where every individual can live their truth with dignity and pride. Joining me now in studio is the Secretary of the LGBTQ+ Nelson Mandela Bay Forum, Ayanda Makebenge. Ayanda, thank you so much for joining us. Good evening and welcome.
Good evening, Bobo. I don't know whether I'm audible.
Thank you so much. Well, Ayanda, tell us, are there still challenges facing the gay community, even though after the year 2006, where the same-sex marriage was made legal? And take us through those challenges.
I would say that we're still facing quite a lot of challenges in this day and age. After the law had been passed into a law since 2006. And let me first highlight the fact that why I'm wearing a federation underneath my coat. It is simply because as an advocate in the space of LGBTIQ+, I also lead in the African National Congress Women's League, which it has taken it upon themselves to rally behind advocacy and advancing the struggles of the LGBTIQ+ within the movement, democratically elected into their positions and politically deployed by the African National Congress. For them, it is to harness a responsive voice in bringing service delivery, and part of that it is to advance for human rights and the LGBTIQ+ rights as well. That's why I'm wearing the Federation of the African National Congress Women's League, so as to to say in my indigenous language to the ruling party, the principals now of the GNU government, to say from 2006 up until now, we've done quite a lot as government and civil society organizations, but there's still quite a long way to journey together in a multi-stakeholder approach in having to implement the good policies that I have in government in dealing with issues such as hate crime that we face in the day-to-day. This interview comes recently after we laid to rest one of our own, whom she was found dead in a cab tap in Uitenhage. And recently, yesterday, I received news of a couple, a lesbian couple in Kariega also that was shot dead, which we suspect also it is hate crime directed to the LGBTIQ+. Part of those things that we need to advocate for in the space of advocacy, it is to make sure that justice is being served and something is being done to deal with hate crimes towards LGBTIQ+. Yes, we've still got challenges.
Well, saying that you still got challenges, do you think that there is a progress in the community's rights since the 2006, and why?
There had been progress made, yes, we will agree with that, and we would acknowledge that work done by ourselves together with the government jointly. We've seen same-sex marriages taking place in South Africa, and I've been part of it, and we've been journeying quite very well together, but we need to strengthen working relations with the government. Hopefully in this GNU, something will be done in changing some of the things that we had lacked to improve in terms of having the policies that we had in dealing with such issues. I would say, yes, there had been progress made, and I should think there is a lot that needs to be done, but we are quite journeying very well with government, but hate crime seems to be increasing in day by day.
Thank you so much. Can you maybe dwell more on when you say you think there's still more that needs to be done?
In your follow-up question, that there's still need more work done. It's simply because you would find the trans community within the LGBTIQ+, which I am a trans woman. When you refer to me, it's a she, her, my pronouns. You'd find in many workplaces, it's still a challenge for our trans community, wherein some had not undergone the process of gender marker, where they've applied for a Department of Home Affairs, where they've been capacitated in terms of a gender marker, and now they are officially in their documents, identity certificates and everything refers to them as fully female in terms of the gender marker. It's still a challenge for them because there's still a stereotype going on amongst workers. Therefore, it needs us as well, to sensitize our employment sector in the issue of gender dynamics and the LGBTIQ+, particularly that of the transgender bodies. Your trans men, your trans women, such myself, I had not been part of the gender markered trans woman. I still have an identity that recognizes me as male, sex assigned at birth, whereas I recognize myself and a sense of identity that says I'm a woman. Therefore, trans rights are still affected in this. Hence, I say we still need to do more work in terms of advocating for our rights and sensitizing our communities. And yeah.
Ayanda, just before I let you go, next month, which is October, is the Pride Month. What message would you like to leave or share to the public?
The LGBTIQ+ community's rights are human rights. I would love for our community and the public to know and keep in mind that it's humanity before sexuality. It does not matter which sexual orientation, but what matters most is that you are a human being. We should respect one's right and also respect the fact that your sense of identity is whom, when, what you say you are, and we stick to that. Thanks to the Eastern Cape government in the Office of the Premier that we will be celebrating a Pride Month. First time in 30 years of democracy, inclusive of the LGBTIQ+. Thanks to the work done by Umamu Nobanzi in that department at the SPU level. And lastly, how I wish communities could familiarize themselves with their SPU offices in each and every district municipality, local municipality and metros in and across Eastern Cape. All 9 provinces actually, so that they can be sensitized on a number of issues, particularly the COGTA, where there are still traditional leaders that need to be sensitized on the issue of LGBTIQ+, because most of these hate crimes come from smaller villages and outskirts of the all 3 provinces, if I'm quite correct, that still have villages in South Africa. So let's respect humanity before sexuality.
Ayanda, thank you so much for your time. That is how far we could have gone tonight.
Thank you very much, Mbaba.
That was Ayanda Makebenge shedding light on challenges faced by the gay community.